and Clary, but these like people like HBC, right? They specifically during the housing crisis, they specifically targeted elderly black people, black citizens. They looked up which ones had their properties paid off, which ones were almost done, and they went and targeted elderly African Americans. And in those reports, they basically said like, and they got sued. They had to pay a couple $2 billion back for in terms of fees and stuff for doing this. But in the own reports, the own people at HBC were basically saying it's so easy. These dumb mud people will sign anything we put in front of them. These fucking pieces of shit right here that like do this kind of crap, evil shit. Now, this is the joke that like what Rolo was saying and stuff. Like, there was a report by, I think it was Wells Fargo, made a report that basically some of the best asset classes to invest in would probably be box wine and chewy toys for dogs and cats, because there's actually a significant amount of single women in America and stuff, and that's going to continue. Basically, if someone doesn't get their pair in the next 10 millennial women, if they don't find someone to settle down with in the next 15 years, basically there's going to be a very large amount of a population where they're going to be able to milk them forever. Antidepressant pills, box wine, chew toys, catnip. I mean, it's ridiculous. Basically, buy pet stocks. You're gonna do pretty well over this next decade. But it's just looking at they're just looking for pockets of where's money so they can like take it. But I digress. And also it's stuff, since we're like, and then we see there's a huge, so same thing with the crypto space, but we're in the crypto space together and we're like, these dumb fucks are printing so much money. We're going to take all that money. So we're buying all these coins now and they're cheap and they're just funneling cash to us and allowing us to rise above in the Citadel and stuff like that. So link below.
Wow. It's like an 18% loan, like basically a credit card loan. And then after 2 years, it's like, all right, sorry, things didn't work out. But it's a cold calling mill, so they're always finding
There's
new
something
desperate
about
people.
Long Island that just, for whatever reason, and it shares a lot of similarities with Orange County, California, which is the southern county in California, south of LA.
Yeah.
It's deeply, conservative. It's where subprime mortgages started. They started in Irvine, California, with a company called Countrywide, which became the biggest lender, of that
blue chip mortgage lender.
Yeah, blue chip mortgage lender. And they started in Irvine, California. And Irvine is very similar to Long Island, where it's a lot of nondescript office buildings on the side of a highway. And there's just a lot of young dudes that are willing to put on a tie and try to, better themselves in whatever way they can.
So the sick thing is that my parents were like proud of me.
Yeah.
And so I have a job where I wear a shirt and tie.
That's right.
And after like not knowing.
Now, I'll let him talk right now in a minute and stuff because it's my fucking show. But but this is some real shit he's about to talk about, where like there is a lot of pressures of why you want to do, because it's a lot of these people are just people who want to make some money and stuff like that, but it's these evil people at the top that put the system. And the thing is, there's a lot of these guys who just don't want to be normal and they're willing to do kind of gray market stuff, and then after a while, after doing so much gray, they end up going into the black instead of going into the light, basically. And you have this whole thing where like it's all about perception. The reason a lot of parents want you to go to school is because so they could say you went to school. Oh, my daughter's going to Harvard. My daughter's going to UCLA, UC Irvine. Oh my God, he's going to ULV or whatever the fuck, Texas A&M and stuff. He's playing football, right? It's all about, like, for a lot of parents, it's not about the education or the money of the child. It's about, my child is better than your dog shit child. Oh, it sucks you didn't raise your child that great, but Cindy's doing awesome. Anyway, but it's true. I mean, that's really what it is. And then on top of that, there's a pressure as a child. Like, I've talked about this before. I had such a pressure to go to college. Oh my God. I felt like I remember being like 20 years old, leaf blower strapped to my back, LOL. And like, I fucking just out of nowhere just started crying because I was like, I'm a fucking failure. I'm a loser and stuff. Like, I've let my parents down, like I'm not going to go to college and stuff, and I'm going to be like a fucking deadbeat motherfucker. Damn. I'm a failure now. Like, all the effort my parents put into me is now down the drain and stuff. I'm just going to be some fucking 9 to 5 loser. and that is the pressure that's put on children by parents and stuff, not intentionally because the parents do want the best for their child, but a lot of the time it really is because of like what they can say and stuff like that, you know. So just is it is yeah, don't get into the dark arts, definitely, man. But all this stuff about like there's all these men and stuff like that, like so they essentially just hijack these men, put them into like lure them in with money, and then from there just their morals get decayed over time, little coke, little cookers and stuff, and then boom, tragedy.
And Irvine is very similar to Long Island, where it's a lot of nondescript office buildings on the side of a highway, and there's just a lot of young dudes that are willing to put on a tie and try to, you know, better themselves in whatever way they can.
So the sick thing is that my parents were like proud of me.
Yeah.
And so I have a job where I wear a shirt and tie.
That's right.
After like not knowing what the hell I wanted to do.
Right.
And I actually can read. So like I have a leg up on a lot of the other people that are.
Yeah.
So then they're like grooming me to like be a manager.
Right.
Which if you don't own the firm, basically the manager doesn't actually have any power, but he's somebody that could be pointed to when things go wrong.
Right.
So I'm being groomed for that.
Get a little maybe paid on volume bonus.
Yeah. So you're like the most trustworthy pirate on the pirate ship, basically. So, but people in your real life, they're like, what do you do? Oh, I do stocks. Like I do investments. So, oh, wow. It's like, no,
it's a big deal.
It's not, oh, wow.
It's a big deal to have a business card and hand it to people that says loan specialist, loan consultant, terms that are blatantly fake.
Yeah.
That have no.
Were you a loan consultant?
I was a lot of things. I was a loan
cryptocurrency educator.
Specialist and loan consultant.
Right.
We would say I would say I'm an expert in residential finance. We would go through we'd run the gamut of things that I was a account executive.
Right.
For a little while there.
That's the first thing that you started.
A few months I was an account executive, but then I moved pretty quickly up to specialist.
I think what all these people share in common is Nassau Community College.
I went to Nassau Community. I met the guy that got me into mortgages was my debate partner.
I will say this though, I've been doing crypto now for such a long time that like for the longest time, I would just make up what do you do for a living now? I would just like, oh, I'm just doing landscape. I do construction, or just like I wouldn't even tell people. And now like I tell now I don't care. Like I just say what I do. Like, oh, I do cryptocurrency. It's like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah. Things are tough right now, but I'm a cryptocurrency analyst specialist and stuff like that, in the space and stuff.
I was on the debate team
partner
at Nassau Community College. He had like a little debate team, and I was on the debate team, and I was really good at it. And he goes, "Hey, you should do mortgages," because he had a Range Rover. And I said, "I want a Range Rover." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm a mortgage guy." He goes, "You're really good at talking. You should do this."
Yeah.
So I just came in and.
So you were doing this at the height of the mortgage bubble too. Like people wanted to talk to you.
I started in 2000, part-time 2004 or 5.
Perfect.
Like this is, dude, I'm pausing so much because there's so much sauce and all this stuff. It's just like this inner game stuff on finance and money and stuff. But it's true, when the markets are really hot, everyone and their mom wants to talk to you. Like right now, this is why me and Charlie work so hard to talk to you guys right now, because it's not hot to talk about crypto. Even right now, maybe barely they're barely opening their eye a little bit. Ethereum's done a little something. Bitcoin's not, but it's 30,000 now and stuff. I guess, but we were banging the war drums now to get you guys in now to make the money now. Versus later on, they're just banging we don't even bang the drum and shit. They're banging the drum for us. They're trying to break the doors down. Please tell us what to buy and stuff like that. So, shout out to you guys, all 160 of you guys live in the chat right now. Shout out to you guys. You guys are gonna make it, man.